I want to talk with you real quickly regarding some of the things that have just changed regarding some of the executive orders and even around the world. Some things did change that you need to know about that were all about getting Donald Trump out of office. So first off, the World Health Organization just changed some ratings and figures up that make it so a little less likely that people will actually be, held as being COVID positive. They changed that just recently. There's also things involving the environment with these executive orders that Biden's actually going to be using that are going to change up what this nation's able to do for itself versus being dependent on others. Now, what that means for all of you who are, you hate war and you don't like all the bad things that happen around the world. Well, one of the things that makes this nation a little bit unique is that we actually have our own reserves, but those people out there who are pretty fanatical about the environment and stuff and saying that all things are terrible if you're drilling and that, this and that. Well, the way that it hits you will be in your gas and in your energy costs. So if and when those things go up, just understand that your ideas about these things are contributing to what your pocketbook looks like. Okay, so just understand. And if somebody tells you that there's virtue in paying more for stuff, well, just understand that these people are tripping. Okay, there's no virtue in getting fleeced. There's no virtue in getting fleeced. All right. And then there's certain leaders in the world who also are rejoicing as well, and that's where you'll start seeing some things happen around the world where, you might end up seeing more people doing crazy stuff around the world because nobody's putting them in check. But hey, at least you had a politician that sounded good and that you were able to say, hey, is not Orange Man bad, right? Well, the truth of the matter is this. Every single one of us, no matter who we are as Americans, every single one of us is basically going to be living through this stuff. And you as a fair-minded individual, if you're watching this, you as a fair-minded individual, you're going to have an opportunity to speak into people's lives about what it is that they're experiencing because of these executive orders and because of what they see around the world and because of costs in people's pocketbooks. All the tangible things, the job losses and all that. Well, employment drops, okay? Taxes go up. Unemployment rates, they go up. Taxes go up. Your gas prices go up. The inability to actually buy a home goes up. The amount of savings, that goes down. People understand because it actually hits them in their wallet. And then you'll understand what it means to be radical environmentalists, where if you believe some of the environmentalist stuff, I mean, there's some parts of it I believe it, but there's other parts where I'm like, dude, that's ridiculous. And look at it from a fanatical perspective, you're able to understand that there's certain nations that are not held to the same standards because of their involvement in world politics, including China and India. Okay, so they're not held to the same standards as the United States. And even though the last 4 years, what we've done environmentally has been pretty phenomenal, it wasn't broadcast because the media was against Trump. So all the things that were hidden from you as an average American are going to come to light because it's going to affect people who are moderate, mainline Democrat. Okay, it's going to affect them the way that it affects us. And these people are going to be set up against the radical left because all Democrats are not freaking radical left. They're not all radical environmentalists and all kind of crazy white jobs like that. Okay. And, but the left can say things about the right, which is, it's understandable. Okay. So, but understand that as you see this stuff happening, you're going to have an in. Okay. People are going to want to relate to you and are going to want to and have questions about what they see because they understand that the last 4 years, they might have had some more money and that money might be going out the door, especially with one of the biggest tax breaks. It's not even a tax break, but it's just something to think about is your gas prices. When gas prices go up, that's for the average American. The average American uses fuel. The radical environmentalist will tell you that you need to get an electric car. The radical environmentalist has no clue about where coal is actually used to actually fuel the electric vehicles, okay? So they don't understand that stuff. But you as the average person, be open because the time will come when these folks are going to start asking questions. and they're going to be able to relate to you in a way that they didn't before. Believe me, it's going to happen.